hold on strong to your XRP, because if you don't, the world of elites are going to take it away from you. The world is looking for a solution for cross-border payments using public-private partnership. And Ripple, the company, is presenting themselves as a successful organization to fulfill that role. Now, why I say the world is coming for your XRP? When Ripple, the company, is buying back XRP from the market with the already existing huge bags of XRP, it means they see the price going asymmetrically to the upside. When there is an opportunity like that, no one wants to miss this. So it's like when the opportunity is knocking on your portfolio, the issue can be your emotion, which may restrict you from thinking short, medium, long term, so that you can take those profit in those time frames. Say you are looking at it on a shorter time frame, what can you see? Where can you take profit? If you are looking at it on a medium time frame, what will you do? If you are looking the same on a longer time frame, where can you take profit? If you don't have a proper exit strategy, which coincides with the price fluctuation and the fundamentals, it can be a bit difficult to not be emotional. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you saw value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We will be going through a lot of news which would be giving you an enormous amount of value and give you an idea about your XRP portfolio and what you will be looking at during this bull run to take profit. If you would like to extend the support, you can use PayPal, Patreon, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. Patreon will allow you to unlock more value for your portfolio, because if you have in your portfolio, say, other assets than XRP, in Patreon we provide all those charts, setups, and knowledge of education for the crypto asset trading, investing, and to think as an investor. So now let's jump back into these and see what it really means. IMF in their tweet is highlighting they need a solution for cross-border payments. And when you come here, it kind of highlights again this tweet from Kathleen Long. It's not a small thing, because she highlights big news from SEC. Clarity in the US. Crypto regulation did come. So what is she pointing towards? It's here in the SEC.government. Staff statement on Wyoming Division of Banking. If you look at that, they are highlighting the custody of digital assets and qualified custodian status. Who can custody digital assets in United States? So therefore, they are coming out with a bit more regulatory clarity in US, and that's the reason she is highlighting this as a big news from SEC. Recently, there has been bashing on US because they've been so slow towards doing this. Yeah, they want to make it right, not the first to do it, but usually the market goes with the contenders who are first to deliver these products. So automatically they would be losing some of those aspects towards others. Now, when you look at all of these fundamentally positive, strong, asymmetrically upside, it all points towards that side. Then what do you actually need in your portfolio? Now, say you have your portfolio, you have XRP, you are riding it well. It's cool. So if you would like to see what you can expect for next 40, 50, 60 days, if the pattern is repeating itself, you can see that we are moving inside this, and in that movement you can see that first we made 74%. Secondly, it was 87%. So if you do your math, it would be around 95 to 97% in the next one, and that correctly coincides with this pattern. Say this is the support, resistance, resistance, and if you look at the bottom, support, support, support. So that kind of gives you a validity that the support is kind of here and the resistance should be somewhere here. And if it takes the number of days, if you see 48, 49, 47, 48, if you look at that range, within next 47 days, we should be somewhere around this region, and that makes us cross above this resistance. So that resistance is lying around 0.31, 0.32, and if we move above that, there can be a couple of scenarios. Say we can correct back down towards 0.3 and then bounce. But personally, I think when we correct back, it would be towards this support, which will be the resistance turned support after we break to the upside. It may fluctuate a couple of times there and then bounce towards the upside. So that is on a shorter time frame, looking at the same pattern moving continuously. But if you look at the same on a medium time frame and look at the MACD, RSI, and all, say this is a 3-day chart, the MACD is already showing you that the upside is imminent. It's about to cross to the upside, and the crossing to the upside of MACD this time is happening on the positive territory with the RSI directing your fingers to the upside. So that's huge. So in that case, the short term, what we said here, the first movement towards this would be cool, and then it won't be a correction to the downside, but chances in the medium term looks like it would be breaking to the upside and then move to another 70-80% to the upside, reaching around 0.7. Now that is a small thinking, meaning you are kind of being a little bit conservative, saying that kind of 10,000% move in a week, we are not looking for that right now. We'll actually be conservative. If you become real with yourself, looking at the history of price and then look at the long term where you can take profits. Now yes, if you have say 500,000 XRP or million XRP, that's going to be cool. If the price even moved to $1, you're going to have a huge profit. But say if you are someone with 1,000 XRP, 5,000 XRP, 10,000 XRP, 50,000 XRP, you would be looking at where I should take some of my profits, right? So in that aspect, say your average, say for example, I'll explain my case here. With my average around 0.16, if the price moves towards the all-time high, it's like 2,000% gain for me. Cool, right? 20x the money which I have. That's not a bad deal at all. So for me, I would be taking around 2.5% of my XRP portfolio at that range, which is the all-time high. Now, why I have actually plotted two lines. One is the all-time high itself, 3.8, and the other one is around 3.1. Meaning as you enter into that region, there would be selling pressure, meaning profit taking. Guys who have invested at the bottom would be taking their profit from that level. That's for sure, because they expect the price to have a little bit of resistance there, or at least break that level, consolidate around that area, and then boom again. That was the history, right? If you look at the history, it happens similarly. So first would be that. Then if you look at the general aspect till the top, say the last time what we did was from one top to another, it was like 7,000%. So if we count that from the last top, say $3.8, and plot it, you're going to get a huge value for XRP, which is, way above $250. So for me, we don't know when we'll reach there, but based on history, it should be like we should reach somewhere there in the next market cycle. So next 2 years, we should be somewhere there, right? Now, being conservative, if I look at the same, see, last time from the bottom till the top, it was like 140,000%. So that's 1,400x. If you count that in, say that 140,000% into this one, from this bottom, you get like $170, $180 per XRP. That's not also a small thing, it's a huge thing. Now, let's be conservative, say it only does half of that. From this bottom, which we put in back in early 2020, if you look at that, we would be reaching around $80. Still, it's not a small value, but will we be directly pumping towards these levels, $80, $170, $250? I personally don't think so. There would be fluctuations. There would be huge price fluctuations, which happened, like if you look at, for an example, in BTC, you can understand. When the volume is increasing, number of investors are more. If you look at the volume itself, you can easily understand, compared to the all-time highs, we are now having volume. Number of individuals who are trading is more, institutions would be entering, so that kind of gives you an area for a lot to expect from the manipulators. So they would try to kick your emotion, from left to right, top to bottom and all, to make you take that profit and then stand out for at least an hour or a day. So they'll push the price up during that time, and then you'll come back chasing your portfolio, chasing the price, buying more XRP. So in that case, even if you expect these levels, you should be looking at, say, step by step. Say we reach around all-time highs, cool. Then from there, at least around $10, $12, or $12.5, $15, it's up to you. You can create such a scenario, a hypothesis, in which you would be saying, okay, when the price reaches 12.5, I would be taking 2%. When the price reaches $15, I would be taking 1.75%. In such a way, you can actually extend that. That's what I personally do. And I'll repeat that until 50% of my portfolio is sold. Meaning 50% of my portfolio I'll take profit. Wherever the price reaches by that time, it would be somewhere around $50 to $75 per XRP. If I continue to move around with 2%, 1% each time. But I'll still be holding 50% of my entire XRP portfolio for the long run, at least next 2 market cycle. Because if for this market cycle, if we can anticipate somewhere between $170 to $280, then in 3 years, who knows where we will reach. And I really don't want to miss that opportunity. Looking back at what happened with other coins, say for example, if you look at Bitcoin, you will understand where it started, where it went, right? So in that aspect, the utility side of this for XRP is even more. And when Ripple, the company, is buying back, I completely agree with Joker here. The first rule in trading, when you see big institutions buying back their shares, it's bullish. Never bet against the smart money. So for me, I won't do that. Because if you do trade against the smart money, it's going to be so hard to survive in the market. They would manipulate you in such a way that you'll say to yourself, I'm going to go out. I'm going to take my profit. I'm going to jump. The manipulation is so much. Because emotionally, if you are not ready to trade this market, you may not survive. Now look at this tweet from Vedian. It shows November 11th, FinTech, digital assets and smart grids. Digital assets and FinTech. That's not a small thing. Then as you come to the bottom, you can see till 2021 Jan, it's Internet of Thing. So as you come again to the bottom, future internet. So right now you have an internet. That's the internet of what? Information. So what are they looking to build? They are looking to build an internet of value. So with FinTech and digital assets, they're starting and they're ending at the future of internet. Do you see something there? That's up to you. I won't actually speculate that. But still for me, it's something like that what I'm looking at. Because if you read through this, you will understand they are talking about standardization. Standardization of what? Using what? These are the questions which you have to answer. And you can see that they are going to use this technology to standardize, to use it in the real world for the financial institutions. And as you come through that, you will, if you go into that document and read through that, you'll clearly understand where they are taking you through all of this. Now, yes, it's kind of, you can argue that it's kind of a bit of more towards the control side of it. All your data would be stored in that way. If government want to do that, yes, they can. But, that's the conspiracy side of it. But being an investor, we are looking for opportunity. And wherever we see opportunity, we are looking what would be the duration. Will it be happening in next 3 years? Will it be happening in next 5 years? If so, are we positioned? Look at your own portfolio and say, is your portfolio positioned well for next 3 years, 5 years? Say if you only trade or invest in digital assets, it's okay, it's cool. But I personally advocate you to look at silver, you to look at gold, because these tend to perform well in the long run when you have such an economic situation. So yes, millennials and Gen Z are moving more towards the digital assets. So I do have that portfolio as well. But Looking at the use cases, the utility bull run, XRP is the most. Now on the other side, silver would be better. Now, Bank of International Settlement highlights this. Centuries later, the rise and fall of the Bank of Amsterdam show that rigid stablecoins are poorly suited as the foundation for a modern monetary system. You need a neutral asset to trade. That's what the central bank needs. Central banks will come out with their own digital currencies, but they will definitely need a neutral asset to do that. Now, if you go into BIS website and read through this, an early stablecoin, the Bank of Amsterdam, and the governance of money. If you read through these, just jump into the findings, which would be better for us. The analysis with monthly balance sheet data shows that confidence in Bank of Amsterdam money, as reflected in the premium over metal coins, was eroded as the shares of loans in the bank asset increased. So, for central banks coming out with central bank digital currencies or considering global stablecoin backed with their fiat currencies, are going to have a lot of issues because it is tied up with the monetary policy of that nation. So that is why you definitely need a neutral asset to do this. Because if you look at the adoption side of it, you can see this is happening. Now, this is from IBIS Management Associates highlights this. Swissroute, RippleNet. Now, they are using that system to get more value out of it. So what is the value they are looking at? They are looking at cross-border payments. So now if we look at this whole scenario happening around the globe, from institutions from IMF to central banks, corporates, giants, financial institutions, payment providers, corporate banks, private banks, they're all moving towards the same direction. It's only that they're trying to do maximum of these items, execution of these items in the background, so that a normal guy doesn't understand what's happening and he won't be prepared for this. If you look at the total XRP wallet address or even the total crypto wallet addresses, it won't even be 1% of the global population. So when the majority argue that no, never, they are going to make a whole lot of you rich. Yeah, I agree with that, because it's not a whole lot. First of all, it's only below 1%. Secondly, 90% of those who are holding the crypto assets won't be taking a lot of profit. Why? A lot of profit means you need a lot of patience, and majority won't have that. When the market fluctuates, they will be looking at their portfolio, going in green hugely, then dipping 40%, 30%. They would be tempted to take their profits out. So that is how the manipulation works. Guys, I hope you received value for your time, and if you did, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to extend your support, you can use that PayPal, Patreon, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.